Athletes, welcome back. We've got another great workout. We've got Philip, we've got Alex, and we've got some EMOMs for you today that are gonna be for quality. So you gotta give us good form and consistency all the way through. Your warm-up's coming up next, so get ready. Our warm-up is starting now. We're gonna have 10 seconds on the clock. I want you guys to go ahead and step back to where you're gonna be doing your RDLs. So we've got Alex doing banded good mornings, but we're gonna start out with RDLs for everybody. So legs start on our legs, or hands start on our legs. We're gonna push our hips back, going down as far as we can before we start to feel that back round out. The goal here is to warm up our hamstrings and the rest of our posterior chain. So I want you to make sure that you get through a range of motion that feels challenging, but is not having you modify the positions that I want in order to get a little bit lower in that movement. So we're gonna go through this for another 15 seconds or so, trying to get a little bit lower with each of these. And then our next movement that we're gonna have is we're gonna go into our modified burpees. Let's go ahead and move to where we'll be doing our burpees, and we've got Alex doing lateral burpees over line, and then we've got Philip doing modified burpees. So I'm gonna have both athletes go ahead and do their variations. We're going at half speed right now. So I want you guys to really feel the positions that you're going through, the action of getting up and getting off the floor. If you wanna get fancy with it and add a little bit of a down to the floor, Alex is gonna go into a seal pose. He's gonna go into a down dog pose, back to his seal pose, down to the floor, and then finish that burpee out and then go over. With Philip going into our modified version of these, this is gonna be a little bit of an easier version of stepping over the line and stepping back. The thing that I will challenge Philip with on this is that I want him to be conscientious of which leg he's stepping out of. So it's always outside leg we want to try so that we can keep ourselves balanced on each side. If you want to step back with that leg that's closer to the line, you are welcome to. But I want to challenge you guys to work on that mobility on each side of your body, and when we're on the outside of the line, if it's to our right, then let's try stepping back with that left leg, and when we get to the outside of the line, let's try alternating and stepping back with our right leg. I'm gonna go ahead and have athletes rest here. Let's go ahead and stand up, and next we're going to wall sits. So we're gonna shift here, and we're gonna have both athletes go to the boxes that we have. Now, you would normally use a wall for this, but since we can't get a good camera angle, we wanna make sure that you guys can see this movement in its entirety. Both athletes are gonna go down to that box. Alex is working on getting himself to parallel, and then we've got Philip choosing the height that he wants to use here. If you're using a modified object rather than the wall, make sure it's something that's not gonna scoot out on you and it can support your body weight. We're gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand. I'm gonna have both athletes give me 5 air squats here. So go ahead and give me 5 air squats. We wanna get ourselves nice and warm because these holds are no joke. If you haven't done wall sits before, the shakes are gonna set in very, very quickly. We're gonna move back to our boxes again. And during this time, the warm up, this is the time that I want you to figure out where your feet need to go, what you're doing with your upper body. Go ahead and get into the position. We've got both athletes with their heels either in line with their knee or slightly in front of it. So I do not want heels behind your knees, and I don't want them grossly extended forward. We're gonna go ahead and relax on 3, 2, 1, and stand. And we're gonna go back to that first movement of our RDLs. This time I'm gonna have Alex grab his band because he's gonna be performing banded good morning. Philip goes right back into the RDLs. With our banded good morning, we're gonna choose a band tension that allows us to go for the entirety of the minute here. And we're not trying to show how strong we are, but we want the weight to be challenging or the resistance to be challenging. Alex puts that on like backpack straps, and he can even make this a little bit more challenging if he takes his hands and he's gonna move them down a little bit on the band, and then he can pull up on that to increase the tension that he's going to apply in this movement. We can also do it by stretching the band out with our feet and going a little bit wider there. So you can find ways that you can adjust with the same band and increase that tension. I'm gonna have both athletes relax, and then we are going to get right into our workout coming up next. So take care of what you need to, grab your water, fitness is coming your way. Athletes, the workout is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. We are going into our RDLs for this first minute. So go ahead and grab your band if you need it. If not, grab yourself. We're going into 3, 2, 1, and RDLs. Now, we are doing this workout for quality. So I want you to make sure that if you are going at Alex's pace right now, you are gonna keep that same pace all the way through, because this is a 16-minute EMOM, which means we're gonna come back to these banded RDLs 4 different times. I do want you guys to keep track of the number of reps that you do hit in this and make sure that you are trying to aim for that rep count every single time. When we're going through, I'm gonna make sure that Alex keeps his chest up enough so that we maintain tension on our hamstrings throughout. I don't want you going so far over that you feel those hamstrings turn off and then the tension shifts to your low back, because that is not what we're going for here. Philip's doing a great job of doing his regular RDLs. We are going through, sliding those hands down our legs as far as we can before our back starts to round out. You've got 10 seconds left in this EMOM, and then we are going to be moving to our burpees in 5, 3, 2, 1, and burpees. So now we are doing our modified burpees over the line or lateral burpees over the line. Again, I need you to keep track of those rep counts here. We've got Philip stepping over, and then we've got Alex doing his jump over. If you guys are doing the lateral burpees over line, you are welcome to step back on those, but RX is going to be jumping over that line. I'm gonna challenge Alex on this next one to step back, and we're gonna step back with our outside foot. So he jumps over, he steps back with that outside foot, which is his right leg when he's on that far side of the line, and when he's in close, he's gonna step back with the left side. It adds a little bit of a challenge to the movement because you do have to be a little cerebral there, but we are keeping ourselves balanced if we are doing that step back. We've got 15 seconds left in this EMOM, and then we are on to our wall sits. You got 10 seconds, athletes. Stay steady here. Remember, we're matching this pace for our next 3 rounds of this workout. 3, 2, 1, and wall sits. Make your way over, and we're gonna get right into that position. When we are here, we are against boxes, so you guys can have a good view of what this movement looks like. We've got Alex right at parallel. We've got Philip at the height that feels comfortable for him. When we're going through this, we're making sure that we're keeping ourselves active. Chest stays back, shoulders stay back. If we need to put our hands on our legs, we are more than welcome to. And if we need to take a break within this EMOM or this minute so that we can kind of shake our legs out and then get back into the same position, we most definitely can. Now, if this is gonna be something that's a little bit too difficult for you to do, we can always hold the bottom of a squat by holding onto a rig, which I'm gonna have Alex demonstrate on our next EMOM that we have. Not yet, Alex, you're still in this one. You're in it for the whole minute. We've got 14 seconds left. You guys do get a minute of rest here, so hold on, hold on, hold on. These wall sits can go on forever. It feels like a minute is an hour when you're doing these, but we get to rest in 1 second and rest. And that is it. So athletes are gonna go ahead and stand up. Now during this time, you know I never want you standing around when we're in the middle of a workout, so you can do the leg shakes like Philip just did, kicking out those ankles. We can go through some air squats to kind of get that blood pushed through our legs from the wall squats, or wall sits. Or we can go through our modified RDL, so if Alex is feeling those hamstrings getting kind of tight without the band, he can go through that RDL, make sure that hamstrings are prepared for that next one. If you guys want to get down on the floor and do a quick seal pose or down dog, you're welcome to. Alex is getting on that hip mobility game, so any extra mobility we can fit in, the better. We got 20 seconds, and then we are going into round number 2. And once again, we are back to RDLs and good mornings. I want you guys to make sure that you remember your rep counts from our first 3 minutes of work, because we're gonna try to match it right here, and we are starting in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Now again, it can be tempting to go really, really fast when we get into the second round, but I want you guys to maintain. Rounds 2 and 3 are gonna try to be a match of our first round. When we get into round number 4, that's where you're gonna step on the gas, and I want you to push it and see if we can get the most amount of reps in our last round, so that 4th round that we've got. We're currently on round number 2. We are 20 seconds into these RDLs, making sure that we are feeling those hamstrings lit up and it's not in our low back. If I get into a position where I'm leaning over too far, I'm gonna feel everything shift to that low back, and that is not what we're going for. We wanna feel this in glutes and in our hamstrings. If I challenge Alex a little bit when he stands up, he's gonna squeeze his butt, and we get a little bit more activation by putting our focus specifically on those muscle groups that we're working with these movements. We got 10 seconds left, and then we're going back into our burpees. So keep it steady, keep it consistent. I'm looking for quality here. We got 3, 2, 1, and we're on to burpees here. So with our burpees, we're trying to match those reps from our first round that we had. Philip is doing our modified version. So with this one, you take your time getting up and down off the floor. Use the method that you feel the most comfortable with. If you guys need to modify this even more because it's too difficult to get to the floor, we could have a box or something similar that Philip can go down to. So he's on an incline during that push-up portion, stand up, walk to the other side of the box, and that's how we would modify our line burpee with a higher object so we don't go down as far. We've got Alex working on our regular burpees over line. When you guys hear lateral burpees, that means that your body is next to the line. If we say facing burpees or line facing, bar facing, you have to physically face that line before you hop over. We've got 10 seconds left, and then we're moving back on to everybody's favorite. We got our wall sits coming your way. We've got 3, 2, 1, and move to your wall sits for me. Now I said that we were gonna have Alex do a variation for us. I'm gonna have him use the pole that Philip's box is against, and he's gonna work his way down into that wall sit right there. Now, I don't want him going down into the bottom of this squat. I want him to maintain some tension there. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have him shift his weight forward just a little bit. So basically, I'm trying to have Alex maintain a squat, and he's got the rig as assistance. So if you let go, would you fall right now, Alex? So modify yourself to where you're doing more of an air squat. There we go. And then we can go a little bit below parallel, but I wanna maintain tension on those quads and those hamstrings. I'm gonna have him keep his eyes up, chest up, and then we're gonna maintain here the entire time. If you let go, would you fall over here? Yeah, so now it's starting to set in a little bit. So I'm gonna have Alex air squat without the pole, and then hang on to that pole in that position. We are resting in 3, 2, 1, rest. And that was it. How are those compared to the box? So you've got options there. If you guys don't have a wall that you can sit at because your mom's gonna yell at you for making marks on the wall, then we can do this version here. We can also do a modified goblet hold. So if we grabbed a dumbbell or a kettlebell, we could hold it in front in the bottom of that position, not going so heavy that the weight is going to affect the quality of that hold that we've got. I've got athletes continuing to move around. We got Philip giving us some bonus air squats right now. We've got Alex working on his Rockettes routine with the little leg kicks and then the knee grabs. We are going into our third round here. And again, third round is gonna be the most mentally challenging here because you've done 2 already. You still have 1 to go after this round, but we wanna maintain here. So whatever we've established as our rep count for rounds 1 and 2, we're gonna hit that again in number 3. We are starting in 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, go. These are RDLs and good mornings. Once again, those hamstrings are lighting up. They're starting to get pretty toasty. We got 1 more round after this, and that's where you're gonna give me the magic. I'm gonna have you really push there, but now we're just keeping the car warm. It's winter time. We went outside, we turned the car on, let it idle so it can warm up, and then we're gonna go do some street racing after this, but not in the winter time because it's dangerous with icy roads, and you should always do so responsibly if you're doing any kind of racing. So after that, we're back into our good mornings and our RDLs. We're working on making sure that we're getting full range of motion here. We want to make sure that these athletes are not shortening the range of motion just because we're starting to get tired. I need you guys to give me full range. So whatever you established as your range of motion in that first round, we're trying to replicate those every single time. Philip's taking a quick look at the clock because I know that these are starting to get tough on you guys. We are going in 5, 3, 2, 1, and we're on to burpees. So with our burpees, Philip is back on our modified version, and we've got Alex on our regular lateral burpees over line. Again, I want you guys to make sure that you are maintaining that rep quality all the way through. This third one is the hardest round. The second to last round is always the hardest because you still got a little bit more to do after this, but we're still maintaining. You're giving me great quality of getting that chest to the floor, hopping up, and then getting over your line. If you're doing the modified versions, you can get over that line in any way that you want. If you don't feel comfortable with stepping over a line or doing that step over, we can work on just regular burpees and we can stay in place and then stand and back down. Again, if you need to modify the modified burpees, then we can do them to an object so we're not going all the way down. We've got 15 seconds left. Alex is implementing our step back version. He's saving those legs for his wall sit that's coming up next. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and wall sits once again. Alex is back on his box. He doesn't get to demonstrate another movement because I know how much he loves his wall sits. It's the only reason he showed up today. He said, can I do wall sits today? I wasn't gonna let him do it, but he convinced me otherwise. We got Philip like a statue on these elevated wall sits. Again, if you're doing the version that Philip's on, pick the height that you would like. If you guys are worried about your legs giving out on you, it's always smart to have a small object below you, so we can place a wall ball underneath Philip or a wall ball underneath Alex. So if you guys could not stand up, which is very possible on wall sits, that your legs will kind of just give up on you. We want to make sure that we're standing up before that happens if we need to, but neither of these athletes are standing. They're holding on the entire time. They're thinking about how much fun we're going to have in round number 4 because that's coming up next. We got 10 seconds left. And the more I talk, I know it makes the time go slower. You've got 3, 2, 1, and rest. This is our last round coming up. You guys have done so good up to this point. You're gonna do even better in this last round. Now is the time that I want you to accumulate the highest number of reps compared to rounds 1, 2, and 3, but the best quality as well. So you can't sacrifice quality for quantity, so I want you guys to give us good reps and give us a lot of them. Again, move around during this rest time so that you're preparing yourself. We got Philip giving us more bonus air squats. We've got Alex thinking about how he's going to attack these banded more up. He just got it. He's got his game plan that quick. You got to think on the fly when you're here in the studio. We've got 20 seconds left, and then we are going into this last round. We're starting out with our banded good mornings and our RDLs. Those hamstrings are lit up. We're gonna work them just a little bit longer, and then this will be the last round of RDLs that we have. We are starting in 7 seconds. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Now again, we are increasing our intensity here, so I want you guys to try and go a little bit faster, but again, it's all about quality. I've said this before, but if it's Saturday morning farmer's market and Alex was selling good mornings, this is the first stand I'm coming to because I want to buy all the good mornings that he has. So make them all good reps. We're going through making sure that we're keeping this on our hamstrings, our glutes. If you feel it exclusively in your lower back, I need you to push your hips back a little bit more rather than just bowing over. So let's think about loading those muscle groups. We got 30 seconds and then we're done with our good mornings and RDLs. Keep moving through these. Give me full extension at the top. We have 20 seconds left. You need the most amount of reps in this final round. You have worked so hard to get here. Let's work a little bit harder because this is the last time you're gonna have to look at this band or look at RDLs, the floor position that you would be looking at when we're going down. We've got 5 seconds and 3, 2, 1, and we're switching to our burpees now. So these burpees are where you're gonna start to give me some intensity. I know that we've stayed steady all the way through, but I want the most amount. We've got Alex switching over to his hop version, so he's pushed it up. We've got Philip working on getting off the ground and over that line as efficiently as possible. Right now, I need the most that you've got. We don't have to do burpees anymore after this. This is your last minute, and we only have 35 seconds left. So you guys can give it to me just a little bit more. Let's increase that gear that we're in. We were in 1 or 2 in our first couple of rounds, but now I need you to bump it up to 3 and 4. We're pushing the pace here. You've only got 20 seconds left, so give me all the reps that you can. I don't want you to have any burpees left in the tank after this. You gotta go because we get to sit. We get a whole minute of sitting after this. It may be against the wall, but it's still sitting. We got 10 seconds left. Keep pushing, get those final reps in. Don't stop early. Keep moving, let me see it. We've got 3, 2, 1, and wall sits. So now we are over to those wall sits. I want you to give me the most intense wall sits of your entire life right now. If you look at Alex's face, this is intensity. That's intensity. I need you guys to give it to me at home. Stay in place here. So maintain the thing that will help you. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it. Breathe out. Doing that during holds, whether it's planks, hollow holds, wall sits, any type of hold, focusing on your breathing during this is something you can control and it'll help pass the time even more. We are 10 seconds into this wall sit. I'm kidding. We're 36 seconds into this wall sit. You guys are almost there. We're on the other side of it. You get to rest as long as you want to after this, so keep holding. I know you want to stand up, but stay against that wall. Keep pushing, keep pushing. We've got 10 seconds left. We've got 8 seconds left. Keep it up. Philip is like a statue once again. We have 3, 2, 1, and that is it. You've got your minute of rest, and after this, you get to rest as much as you want. Alex, great job. Philip, great job. Great job, athletes at home. Thank you again for giving us the quality today and giving us the fitness. We can't wait to see you in your cool down, which is coming up next. Athletes, fantastic job once again for always bringing a top level effort in these workouts. We love having you. And if you're not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, we've got tons of workouts just like this and tons that are unlike this that will get you to your fitness goals. Whether you want to get fit at home, in the gym, on the road, at your parents' house, at your kid's house, at your in-laws' house, you're going to pull those in-laws into these workouts with you so you can have that bonding time. We've got workouts for you. The Mayhem Athlete community is full of like-minded athletes that are going to encourage you to be a better version of yourself or make it all the way to the competition floor with whatever your goals are. So please, if you're not a part of our Mayhem Athlete community, join us today. Now, serious time, you have your cool down, which is listed here. And I always say, your body took care of you in this workout. It takes care of you every single day. So show some love to your body and take it to the body shop and let's do that cool down that we've got listed. As always, be a good person, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.